I would like to see someone catch a permit on a grasshopper. Hey, I'm Ben. I'm a huge fly fisherman. I like to fish outside the box. I like to do things differently than what might be considered normal. Sometimes it works and I catch big fish. Sometimes I'm just banging my head against the wall. But I'm always learning something. Let me tell you what made me want to make this video. I did a smallmouth trip in Virginia recently and we fished a lot of blue poppers. I thought they were cool flies, so I brought a few home to put in my stash. Last week I was out trout fishing and I threw them in my boat bag because sure, why not? We were going to be fishing grasshoppers that day, so I figured if they're looking up, maybe I'll try a popper just for fun. As we were pushing off from the ramp, I disclosed to my boat mates that I was packing some boogle bugs and I intended to use them after we caught a bunch of fish on hoppers. Well, we did not catch a bunch of fish on hoppers. Fishing was super slow. I said, yeah, let's try the boogle bug. I certainly won't be catching less fish. So I drifted my popper down that trout river for about 5 minutes before a brown trout came up and grabbed it. Then maybe 30 minutes later, I got another one. I'm not saying this is new or revolutionary. I'm sure plenty of people have caught a trout on a popper. I've caught a trout on a popper before that day, but it is definitely not common. It is very much outside the box. So that got me thinking about some other ways we can fish outside the box to make your fishing more successful or just more fun. And now you're watching this video. Most anglers, I think, especially beginners, are inside the box. They read stuff or watch blowhards on YouTube that say, do it this way and you'll catch fish. They're not wrong, but you shouldn't look at fishing as something that is straightforward or by the book. Fishing is dynamic, it's unpredictable. It's just weird sometimes. So let's go over some examples of how you can fish outside the box and improve your fishing by catching more fish, or sometimes not. First, though, you've heard me talk about castback.com before, an online marketplace to buy and sell fishing gear. They have some new features, like now you can make offers and counter offers. You can create and print shipping labels within the site, which saves you some headaches. Castback.com, buy and sell fishing gear. All right, let's start with simple stuff. Fishing outside the box can be something as obvious as just getting out there earlier. Ever been to a boat ramp at a popular fishing spot at 9 a.m.? You won't be alone. But if you go at 5 a.m., you'll probably be there by yourself. If you want to fish that 10 a.m. hatch, you might have to chuck streamers until that happens. But when it does, you'll be ahead of the fleet, or you've already staked out your favorite run or pool before everyone else gets there. Let's say that hatch does come off and fish are chowing down, but you're not catching them. How can you fish outside the box? For one, ripping a streamer through a bunch of rising fish is definitely a thing. It works. Or have you seen one of those super dense hatches where the river's just carpeted in bugs and your fly kind of gets lost in there? Maybe try something bigger. Show the fish something that stands out. They might eat it. You can also show the fish something different on heavily pressured water. There's this river near here, and in the summertime, everyone's fishing a chubby with a turd under it. Standard rig, it works. But the fish see those same flies all day, every day. Show them something different. And there are lots of other rivers where most people are fishing the same bugs. Break from the herd. Be your own angler. Let's stay on fly patterns for a minute because that's one area where we can get really weird. I've mentioned this before, but look at this one, the booby fly. How do you even, what were you on? Whoever came up with this fly is a genius because it looks ridiculous, but it catches all kinds of fish. That's just one example of an out-of-the-box fly. If you want to see more, check out this Instagram page. There's some weird stuff going on here, and I love all of it. Maybe the best example of out-of-the-box flies is stuff tied by kids. Give a kid a vise and a bunch of materials, and they're gonna come up with some wild ideas. And I want you to remember something. Every fly that's ever been tied could catch a fish somewhere, somehow. Yes, even ones that you tied. I know, it's hard to believe. Earlier in this video, I said that beginner fly fishers are very much inside the box. I'm gonna contradict myself now and say that beginners also do some of the weirdest I've ever seen that works. Fishing a stimulator with split shot under an indicator? They don't know any better. Go for it. I'm sure it'll work. Dragging the fly across the stream so hard it makes a rooster tail? Whatever, dude. Oh my God, you caught a fish. Beginners have no baseline. There's no control. They come up with all this wacky stuff because it just seemed like a good idea at the time. And I find that inspiring. So that's it for this one. The purpose of this video is to get your wheels turning and see what you can come up with that's a little bit different. If you have some out-of-the-box things that you're already doing, leave a comment. We'd love to hear about it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep on boogling and stay huge. I used to have this fly. It was a big, heavy beadhead scud that was like, I don't know, 1.5 inches or 2 inches long, and it was bright orange. I used to fish it under an indicator a lot, and it was crazy because in clear water, I could see every fish in the river coming to check that fly out. Like, oh my God, what is that? I don't think I ever actually caught a fish on that fly, but still there's something to it. There's something going on there because it was such an attention grabber, but it still wasn't quite right because they weren't eating it, but there's something there. Anyway, that was a little outside the box.